And welcome to Obedient Family TV. The program now Hope Alive. Yes, Hope Day. Our PO don't tell us say we are the opposition. So we will continue every day. They come out, they check what in this government they do. The bad things where we say, then they take the harm, the citizens where we say then there for this country. We they come wherever and they watch us from. A good morning, afternoon, and evening. Today we get some things where we go straight to the point. Number one thing where we say we get now the angry protest where we say youths don't carry matter, don't enter National Assembly. As nobody they talk about the things where we say it they happen about the killings, the drone strike where happened for waiting they come for Kaduna State, as if nothing happened, no mass done nothing. So the youths. Powered by National Youth Council of Nigeria. They stormed the National Assembly today. We are going to talk about it. Then we are going to talk about the Nigerian Air Force that they put up for, that is the presidential aircraft that they put up for sale. Is it about the money that they want to put on the budget, or they are selling it for their own to get another yacht? We are going to talk about that. Then we have the 2024 budget that Tinubu and Shetima heads. They are to spend about 15.961 billion on trips, just trips. Then we are going to talk about the Supreme Court's issue about Uzodinma. We clearly know that in Uzodinma's case, the Supreme Court was very clear on the issue of what is his name, the the man that lost his that was from APC, and that is from I think this what is his name again, AA, and they nullified that very candidacy, meaning APC has no person representing them. But at the end of the day, they were able to push Uzodinma in, and at the end, the same Supreme Court that is being captured by the executive is giving this very verdict. Then we have the issue of Femi Gbajabiamila getting about 10 billion to renovate his official residence, and another 10.1 billion for computer software. Computer software, 10.1 billion. If this cannot even establish a computer village, I don't know. We'll talk about this. Then, of course, we have Lieutenant General Towid Lagbaja of the Nigerian Army, who keeps apologizing to the victims of the Kaduna accidental bombing, the drone strike that killed several people in Kaduna State, and we have not seen the president or the supposed select president to have spoken about this. None. We are going to talk all of this, and the person will be saying, me and him there for studio to talk this thing. I get Esther for studio. Now, two of us go hit them today.
So, greetings to my well-meaning, obedient, and wonderful Nigerians out there. My people, don't carry our kaya, come back today again. We have plenty things to discuss. My people, I don't see as Bajami don't budget 10 billion naira just for renovation of house. If you use 10 billion naira to renovate just a house, you tell me how much would the real cost be? Now another one be say Shetima don't equally budget 15 billion naira just for renovation. Now just imagine 2 million over 2 million Nigerian students getting 5 billion naira just for student loan. Even that one, you never even dey certain about it. Anyways, the truth be say Nigerian politicians are extravagant, they are wasteful, and they don't even mind about the plight of Nigerians and Nigerians itself. Anyway, we have lots and lots of more to discuss. The earlier we sit up and take back our country, the better for us. Sit back and join the conversation.
Yes, so Esther, this one a real long one. Johnny, now you take us to. As we come back now, make we begin to hit the things straight on. Because before we go into their spending jamboree, you understand me, all these things where you mention billion everywhere here. Make we even look at what happened for National Assembly today, you understand? Because as youths, then don't begin to see the reason why they need to take back their country, where they done the toxins, you understand? Yes. And I keep saying in every given opportunity that they need to come out, because the executive have actually captured the courts, you understand, so to speak, because we know in Nigeria it is the courts that that gives election. So it means when the executive have captured them, then it means like anarchy itself that they said in the Samani court. So I want you to look at it from the perspective. Tell us from the perspective of the youths. What do you think they need to do to take back their country? Is it just going to National Assembly to protest to them about the killing that has been happening? Because it's not just this one that happened in Kaduna. It has been happening in different places. Do you think that it is just enough at National Assembly, or they should do a mass protest across Nigeria?
Well, anyway, Mr. Kalitimbi say is good. The approach and their step is a very good one to start with. Okay, so you know all this I've been keeping quiet, talking, but it's not just enough for the protest. The protest is good, but another step, they equally have to take another step. Now that they're demanding justice for these are lives that we are lost. Lives that were lost over nothing. Nobody's talking about it. Even the president is back and he has not been there. The other day I was saying that is when things happen in the country, you hardly see him. But if it's abroad trip, he just goes there. Now the thing is that the military has come out to apologize. Apologize for what exactly? We are talking about loss of lives here. It's not only property. It's not animals. These are loss of life. Apologies are not enough. Apologies are not going to raise the dead. Now, measures has to be taken so that these things like this have been happening in the past. It has happened in Nasarawa. It has happened in Yobe State. So measures has to be taken so that these occurrences will cease from happening. And another thing is that they also have to bring out the people that did this to book. They have to, in fact, the souls and the blood of the victims are crying for justice, not just apologies. The people that committed this mass murder, they have to face the judgment. They have to face the wrath of the law.
And somebody like Esther, you know, somebody must take a fall, must take responsibility for this. And it's not about blaming who gave the coordinates or who ordered for this. You understand me?
Yes.
Somebody is in charge of the Nigerian army. We have Chief Bola Tinubu is the commander-in-chief of the armed forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Yes. If somebody should take the fall for him, then let the person take the fall. But somebody needs to. And again, coming to our youths that are across Nigeria, we have 700 and something local governments across Nigeria. We need to start taking action because we cannot continue the way we are going. Every day we keep complaining, we keep lamenting, but actions are not being taken. We need to start going out, even if we have to, put up candle. You understand? Yes. Put up candle in everywhere where you are. Let's up candle because Nigeria is getting dead. How do you position it?
Yes.
It's taking it from there. But like you said, I like their approach of going to the National Assembly, especially now that the president of the National Assembly, Senate, is preparing for 61st birthday. Yes. That I suppose that most of the senators are contributing. As a matter of fact, reports coming out from the National Assembly suggest that he has gotten close on 200 million for his birthday that is coming on the 9th of this month. That's a few days to go. Yes. You understand? So, and also we have hints that money has gone out of National Assembly's bank account and all that. Well, we'll get to that. Okay, it's also on the screen. They said that Akpabio takes about 800 million from Senate accounts for birthday Jamboree as senators donate over 150 million. Demands donation from MDAs, that is ministries, departments, and agencies. That's what is happening in Nigeria. And that's why we keep saying that youths must act. And again, there's somebody that spoke very well on an interview that I think we need to let the audience have a glimpse of when he's talking about the fraudulent Muslim ticket that is actually killing the Muslims. Let's take a listen to what Professor Yusuf has to say about this. Let's take a listen.
Saying the optics are very bad for the military. Very, very bad. The Muslim clerics in the north came and sold this fraudulent Muslim ticket, and we have Muslim vice president, Muslim president. Our people in the north are saying, well, you are killing Muslims. You are inflicting a lot more pain on Muslims. You close border along all seven northern states because of you want to go to war with Niger. You are inflicting pain on top of that. Now you are killing Muslims. And look at the military hierarchy. People are being mischievous. Look at the operational military hierarchy and look at their religion. They need to be very careful. The military needs to be very careful and start doing damage control fast. Meeting community leaders, traditional rulers, religious leaders, and stop issuing these annoying, stupid statements from DHQ.
So, I mean, Professor Usman Yusuf, you have a lot of experience, not just in terms of public policy, but certainly in terms of issues that are related to security. I mean, you worked with the former Chief of Defense Staff, Secretary to the committee that negotiated the release of the last batch of hostages. What is the solution to this security crisis, not the north, but in other parts of Nigeria as well, such as the southeast? Is it necessarily political and not military? What would your recommendations be?
I have said it time and time again. All these major three conflicts you have in Nigeria, from banditry in the northwest and the north central, now is going to the northeast, to Boko Haram, to the IPOB issue in the southeast. None of these problems are military. The military did not bring banditry. Neither did it bring Boko Haram or that. This is all as a result of corruption and bad governance. Politicians brought this mess, and the military is brought in to clean up after their mess. And the military is thinking they are going to solve this problem because of the past president, Mr. President Muhammadu Buhari, thought and looked at banditry just in the prism of military. I've said it time and time again, there's a role for the military. There is not going to be a military solution to any of these three conflicts, because in the history of warfare, nowhere have conflicts like this been won on the battlefield. And they're saying no dialogue, no dialogue. Whoever says that doesn't know what he's talking about. Dialogue is a legitimate tool of warfare everywhere in the world. You must dialogue. Currently, as we speak, the governor of Borno State last week said there are over 160,000 Boko Haram, repentant Boko Haram. They didn't come because you go killing. By dialoguing and getting them, you have done one thing and you've gotten them off of the battlefield. And you must solve this problem. The military, Nigerian military, is spread all across 36 states. Does not have the capacity, we know, doesn't have people on the ground. We've been to 9 forests, there's not a single soldier in our forest. They are dropping ordnance thinking they won this war, they win this war by dropping ordnances. No. We need to back off. There's a role for the military. There's not going to be a military solution. It's a whole community approach. Everybody must be involved. The current leadership of the military, their body language and what they are talking about, they are being hawkish. There's a reason. They are rattling the cage for more money. Well, guess what? They've gotten more money. The little budget we have, they have the largest, the lion's share.
As we can see, several people who are actually talking about the Muslim ticket that would have been the best for the North. Then we have the statistics of how many people that have died accidentally, according by the military, and yet they are not able to know where Boko Harams are. They are not know where the Chibok girls are, and several other things we can't talk about. Let us take some reactions that are coming from our own people on X. We have the one of Aisha Yusufu, who said the Malams that were shouting Muslim ticket is the only way to go, and those of us not supporting a Muslim candidates are infidels, are now nowhere to be found. The citizens that were bombed needed a commander-in-chief that valued citizens, the lives of citizens, not a certificate forger that is the for with zero regard for the lives of citizens. These same Malams enabled Buhari's disregard for citizens and declared protest in Haram because they needed to safeguard a failed leader for their selfish interest. That is coming from our own comrade Aisha. Yeah.
Now they say no. They say no be about. It's not about Muslim ticket. It's about the people. It's about the person that has the interest of Nigerians at heart.
As a whole.
As a whole. That is all. So about being a Muslim or being a Christian, if you don't have the mindset of looking out for your people, things like this keeps occurring every now and then. But when you have their interests at heart, when you're there to protect them, when you're there for governance and not for cruising, only your own selfish and personal interests, things like this are always bound to happen.
Now look at it from what we are seeing even on the screen. The army Oga Kwata wey be Tore the Labaja, the chief of army staff, he don't go for that very place where they talk about. But before that very time, when they go throw a bomb for that very place, why somebody no dey there, be intel or something like that, when we say them go tell them. So as them go here now, if true bandits they there for that very place, why bandits no come strike them where they there for that very place? She get my point. Yes. So all these things where they go now, all the old talk when they talk for that very place, even if you look the face of the people who be said them there, you go see disgust for their face. Yes. Because what if they come promise them now to give them money for the lives of people who be said them done lost? Nobody. Why would you let somebody say I resign and take responsibility?
That is the same.
You understand?
That is the same, Mr. Kanu. Somebody has to be held responsible for this, because if not, things like this will keep happening. But when somebody is being held responsible, or when someone resigns, or when someone they sack someone because of this, things like this will stop.
Yes, like Aisha Yusuf have this one also to say many will die because they can no longer afford this, and we will say it is their time. Someone will come and say nobody dies except it is their time. Well, God gave punishment for murder. Corruption is killing citizens, and bad governance is killing citizens. You know, so just reacting to a Spotlight Abbey's tweet that says that augmentin is actually has increased to something. You know, but exactly. But again, if anybody wants to prescribe augmentin right now, we need to check whether his head is anything that has to go with GSK that is no longer in Nigeria. We already know that Tinubu has subjected us into this kind of hardship that we can't even afford drugs. You understand?
Yes, companies are folding every day. More and more are leaving the country. And even the ones we have, they're even struggling on their feet to stand and for production.
Okay, I think let's even look at what has been going on in the this thing that they just came back. We just be seeing online and all of this that all the people who went to what do they call COP and 28, and most of them were just taking pictures of them being at the delegates that were sponsored by Tinubu and his cabinet are in Dubai, moving around, taking selfies, Snapchatting, and all of that. That is what they went there to do, you understand? Yes. To squander and to spend our money as if the people who are sweating every day to provide it for Nigeria as tax paying are just doing it for nothing, as if we don't know what we're doing. Or let me call it how stupid we are.
That is where most of our money are going to, if not all our money in this country. The little we have, plus the one they'll go out to borrow, they go out there, squander it, spend it, then the remaining ones, the senior, they share it among themselves on renovations and all that. They don't even bother about the welfare of the people that they are there to govern, the welfare of the people that they are there to that they are representing. Okay,
let's take a look at this very tweet from the grassroots mobilization. It says, Tinubu Shetima to spend 10 billion on trips, meals as villas animals get 201 million. I don't understand all of what is the kind of expenses we're running into. He said the illegitimate government may end Nigeria. We warned, but INEC and the judiciary insisted on placing Nigerians on the nightmare of Tinubu. Quite a nightmare, because as we say, the executive have captured the judiciary, you understand? Yes. And everybody is just making, look at another one that is on the screen. He said, Febi Bajamia, who is the chief of staff, he said he gets 10 billion to renovate official residence. Now, 10.1 billion for computer software, totaling 20.1 billion. How much does it cost to build a computer engineering faculty fitted with modern facilities? This is a question. These people don't rate us. Let's just push it. We can't just be pushing, Esther.
That is it. Now, just 10.1 billion naira just for computer software. That's enough to even set up a computer company, employ people. In fact, and the country is going to move forward. But now, this is what is just going for.
A computer village. A computer village.
One person. At the end of the day, the person might not even utilize the money. It's not even about utilizing. This is one that's supposed to go to the masses. Yeah. How much is a student loan of over 2 million Nigerian students? And now this is what is going to just one person. It's very, very appalling.
Well, our people need to know that all of this, we keep bringing it to them as this something is coming. All the discussions that everybody keeps having on X, having spaces and the rest. This is the time that we need to start taking action. And I'm always suggesting when there's no time that is ripe, when they say the time is ripe, we need to look at the opportunities that confront us. The opportunity of the Kaduna killings that nobody has actually owned up to. We have several other things over expenses that is happening that we can leverage on to do what? To do a protest. I mean, there's no law banning a protest. There's none. It is not a strike, so to speak, but a protest. So let the Nigerian youth understand that in as much as Nigerian Youth Council, Youth Council of Nigeria, that is NYCN, that has taken it upon themselves to show that the youths care, yes. Let the youth speak this time around, as the adults are actually not speaking. So this very NYCN mass protest, we applaud you. We need you to do more across the federation. Go to the State House of Assemblies across the whole state and show that Nigeria is not working. Let us make it known that Nigeria is not working.
Yes, you know, say Mr. Kali, speaking on this Shetima 15 billion naira, you know, say don't come out and defend them to me person. Not be only us they talk. So maybe even here as Arise even take talk.
Oh yeah, let's take a listen to what they have to say, because P2B was very clear about how their expenses, especially the one that has to do with the official resident of the VP Kashim Shettima, and of course Osibanjo just came out from that house. Yes. If the box and the cockroaches they are talking about is there, is it okay? So the Osibanjo lived with those cockroaches. I seriously don't know what these guys take us for. But let's take a listen to how Arise treated this in their studio. Let's take a listen.
President Kashim Shettima has defended the administration's decision to spend 15 billion naira to build a residence for him in Abuja. Shettima, through his spokesperson, was responding to recent criticisms of the project by the presidential candidate of the Labour Party during the 2023 elections, Peter Obi, who questioned why the government planned to spend so much money on building and renovating residences both in Abuja and Lagos for the vice president, but budgeted a paltry 5 billion naira for student loans in the country. The vice president denounced Obi's comments, describing it as a series of misguided attacks and falsehoods, stating that the decision to resume the project, which was abandoned by previous administrations, was in line with the Tinubu administration's commitment at completing long-abandoned public projects across the country. Shettima further accused Obi of post-election trauma and divisive rhetoric, urging him and others in opposition to accept defeat gracefully and prioritize Nigeria's interests. I believe the director pulled up Peter Obi's tweet. Let me just get some of that. What Obi said, I believe, on Monday was that he wrote, "Even as I am still studying the 2024 fiscal budget as presented to the National Assembly last week, I cannot wait as I am compelled to ask, what is exactly wrong with us as a country?" I mean, this tweet got a lot of reactions. He further went on to say the budget of 5 billion naira for student loans, which is yet to be disbursed, is only a tiny percentage of the cost of the vice president's new home. We are projecting to use 4 times the amount for educating all Nigerian indigent students to house the vice president. Need leaders who show compassion and are willing to sacrifice for common progress and development. Such compassionate and frugal leaders are critical in our journey to the new Nigeria.
So not be only us they talk about these things where we say if they happen, then they attack P2B from left, center and all of that. But P2B has officially told them that we are the oppositions and we need to put them on their toes. Yes, no be so.
Of course, they really need to be on their toes because the earlier the moment to keep quiet and things will continue to go wrong. But when wants to start checkmating all their activities, holding them accountable one after the other, they will sit up and know that people are actually what the masses are actually after. They actually want to take back their country, and now it's not about just talking and talk. We also have to apply some actions.
More of the talk, and because it's the top that actually exposed the issue of the yacht, that
yes,
presidential
exactly.
yacht that they wanted to do whatever.
Exactly.
But at the end of the day, now they can't talk anything already there for Nigeria.
Yes.
You know, so a lot of things, if we don't talk about it, I mean, they will just take it as nothing happened. Like this COP28 where we say then go now. If not be all the talk when we they talk now, all the whole money when they expend, they throw away like that.
Yes.
All the expenses when they don't bundle together. When would they push them? Say, see what in they see or see what in they happen. There, then go begin they go back small. You understand?
Yes.
Look at all the whole delegates where they sponsor go there. Up till now, they never talk anything where they reasonable make somebody for no say yes, see. Oh.
Yes, Mr. Kaneza, that's in a country that is just thriving. In fact, we're even crawling to survive. We're not even standing on our feet. We're just crawling to survive. And yet, the little money we have, they go out there, spend it. Plus, even the one they borrow. They're just the only thing they are only interested in is waste, extravagant lifestyle, don't care about the masses. They just want to have it and have it all for themselves. Obi
wouldn't have asked his VP to renovate using 15 billion naira.
For what?
He will tell him to dust the house and stay there for the meantime. Say hunger there for grand. You understand? All these things when they do, we will know say His Excellency P2B. You know if you do that kind of thing. You understand me? Yes. This kind of a waste when they do. But anyway, again, let's look at what is happening. You know, we said from beginning that the courts, the heads of all the courts in Nigeria has been captured. So it's not just the Supreme Court. From Supreme Court to Appeal Court to State High Court to Federal High Court, all of them, they don't catch all of them. So which way now is the way going forward on elections? Because waiting Supreme Court, they talk this time around, really, it's not something that is palatable. No be something where we say somebody won here. Anytime when you go Supreme Court, see Abakoba yesterday, he begin the talk. But he gets something where Abakoba talk when I like. In talk say, even when they find him to pay 40 million, say that thing when him do, they ask him, he say, him go do him again. You understand me?
Yes.
He say, him go do him again. And he they talk say, make lawyers know they fear Supreme Court. You understand? And you know say Supreme Court don't lose they are shameless now. Because what in the rule no make sense at all. But let's take a listen. Let's hear what Dr. Abakoba SAN said, and not just what Abakoba actually explained. I'll get to Olisa Abakoba's issue. Let's take a listen to what Osekome San, how he explained this when he came out from court. Let's take his reaction.
Business of the day at the Supreme Court was hearing of the appeal by Uche Nwosu, governorship candidate of the Action Alliance in the 2019 Imo governorship election. But the main action was from the People's Democratic Party and Emeka Ihediaha, who was sacked by the decision of the Supreme Court on 14th January 2020 after having won the said election. Ihediaha's counsel, Michael Zekome, said the decision of the Apex Court, which disqualified Nwosu on account of being nominated as governorship candidate by the APC and AA, should also have affected Hope Uzodinma's nomination as APC governorship candidate, voiding APC's candidacy altogether. But from the get-go, the Apex Court expressed reservation about Ihediaha's application, stating it had no jurisdiction as the 60-day period for hearing electoral appeals had long elapsed, and the court further stated that it was inconceivable that a matter that was decided in 2019 could still find its way back to the same court. Justice John Okoro specifically said the court will not tolerate speculative matters that will ultimately subject the judiciary to social media attacks, adding that it will only entertain genuine cases. Upon Ozekome's insistence on going ahead with hearing of his client's application, the Apex Court, in a ruling read by Justice Tijani Abubakar, dismissed it and imposed a fine of 40 million naira against Ozekome in favor of Nwosu, Action People's Party (APP), its candidate Uche Nnadi, and INEC.
I have no regrets. I have no regrets. I will do this over and over and over again. It is based on the conviction of my spirit. It's based on my scholarship and the research I did. Not out of pride or arrogance, but that this court, being the apex court of the land, is not just a court of law and a court of equity, but it's also a court of policy, to make policy. That a lawyer should not be afraid to bring a case to the court and tell the Supreme Court to reverse itself.
These were judgments that were given in 2019 and 2020, and here you are asking the court to review it. You know, contrary to their contention that the judgment was what they sought by the application is enforcement. It was actually a call on the court to review his decision, and the Supreme Court will never do that.
By the grace of God, who has given us this mandate, Hope Uzodinma will continue to be the governor of Imo State by God's grace and the power of the people that gave us this mandate.
But when they see this, their faces myself. My people, when they talk, say, by the grace of God, when they see Uzodinma will continue to be the governor of Imo State, when you see their faces, you will know that even them, poverty go catch them very soon. Hunger go hammer them very soon. And their families, so not be only them. Because Esther, coming to think about this, I think the idea of Mike Ozekome coming clearly fearless, you understand me, bold. Saying bold and also talking about his belief with his team, you know, because there's something about one's conscience. That 2019 judgment of Hope Uzodinma, everybody know clearly that it's not a good judgment. Exactly. Now we also know that Hope Uzodinma, there is somebody before Hope holding the ticket of APC in that 2019. Yes, you understand me? Yes. And the same Supreme Court judged that this man, I think Nwosu, was holding the ticket of APC and was holding the ticket of Action this thing, party, so to speak. So now the same Supreme Court said that this, having held this party's ticket and held this party's ticket, that is not is disqualified, and having disqualified him, there is nobody. That very place of APC have no candidate and the other party has no candidate. At the end of the day, Uzodinma emerged, and it's the same Supreme Court that this Mike Ozekome approached for the third time to say, look at this. You said this, and they hammered the man with 41 million. A kind of trying to tell them, shut up. You understand? Yes.
You know, Mr. Kadisi, at that time, the Supreme Court begin they try they test their technicality, small, but the masses with the women, with the obedience, would not really understand it until what happened in the 2023 election. Now, we actually need people like Mike Ozekome that will come out, speak up boldly, be courageous, and face the truth. Call a spade a spade. That is all we need in this country. Judging by your conscience and not by technicality or by the envelopes that is flying up and down. Now, we actually need people. Imagine somebody like this being a Supreme Court justice. Or
even being on the bench, you understand me? Being on the bench and not really on the bar. Now, let's get straight to the matter of Olisa Obakoba. Of course, we understand that Dr. Yunusa Tanko, you know, went to Arise and had a conversation on a live TV. And again, we now understand that there are things that were brought into the live program by Dr. Olisa Obakoba-san. Now, he was talking about to the principle of abide principle. For one, it's clear that it was not Dr. Yunus Atanko, but Dr. Olisa Abakoba that mixed up the issues and created confusion on the discourse with Charles and Agola of Arise TV. Let's get that very one correct. Let's get it out. And again, Dr. Tanko did not contradict Olisa Abakoba's explanation that Supreme Court can apply abide principle in judgments. As a matter of fact, both understand and agree that perhaps Dr. Abakoba shouldn't have raised it since it was neither in contention nor confusing. The mix-up is rather embedded in Dr. Abakoba's presentation, which fell clearly to state on grounds of law if Supreme Court can apply the abide principle on completely different pleading, because the issue here is the issue of P2B and Labour Party's certified true copy that has not come out. When Supreme Court said abide by this, are they abiding with a 460,000 forfeiture? Are they abiding with all the things that are in the pleadings in the Supreme Court that are not on the PDP's own? Which one are they going to abide on? They have separate applications in the Supreme Court, which were never consolidated. It was clear. So the abide principle, whatever that is, and I'll ask the question, can an abide principle apply from a judgment on armed robbery to the case of land dispute and rape? Can you actually put an abide principle on different things that have different subject matters? Now, it is obvious that the Supreme Court may have committed grave breach of the Constitution on the matter that we are talking about, and people always assume that the Supreme Court is God. Is God speaking, but really it's not. They are human beings like us, and they are prone to mistakes, and when they make one mistake, they won't cover them with another one. They won't cover them, and they continue making the mistake, just like we have been using the 1999 Constitution as amended. We keep amending it when we know that Constitution originated from the military. But we continue. Anyway, I'm wondering what Olisa Obakobasan will advise Labour Party and P2B Council to do, bearing in mind that they continue to run a country like Nigeria under a leadership that is established on unconstitutionality is a recipe for irresponsible governance and anarchy. And of course, that will be where we'll be ending our program for today. Tomorrow, we want you to join us again as we expose some very fundamental things that are happening on this cabinet as Chief Bola Tinubu is back in the country. Wherever you are watching us from, I want you to like and share this very video so that every obedient and well-meaning Nigerians worldwide will know what is happening in Nigeria and how we are following them back to back. Thank you for watching. Until we come tomorrow your way again, bye for now.